All right, thanks for remaining with us on TVC Breakfast this morning. It's time for us to take a look at the headlines of the papers this morning. We'll be joined, of course, by our usual public affairs commentator, Charles Ideho. He's, of course, standing by to give us his thoughts about some of the headlines we'll be reading out this morning. Okay, Azzy, let's begin with the Punch. Autumn says herdsmen must obtain permits as Buhari vows to punish culprits. Of course, that's a fallout of yesterday's meeting between Mr. President and the Benue leaders. Charles Ideho, good to see you this morning.
Thank you.
Yes,
good to be here.
welcome.
Yeah.
All right, so did you expect much really from that meeting yesterday? Autumn is saying that herdsmen must obtain permits.
I didn't, because when you take a look at the events that built up to that meeting, you realize that it does seem as if the presidency was for dragging. No, excuse me, no concrete information as to what they were going to do to bring the culprits to justice. So again, I personally also oppose the idea of the president summoning the governor of Benue and the rest of them to Abuja, because these are people who are bereaved
already.
Naturally, what should happen is when people are bereaved, you go to visit them. I expect the president to have met them in either Otrukbo, not Otrukbo, okay, Otrukbo, or even the palace of the Tortiv in the Boko or government house to empathize with them.
But
that should have
helped to
douse the
tension. It would be a security risk for the president, for Mr. President, to go to Benue right now.
No. I don't agree to that.
Okay.
The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Nigeria. So what will befall him when he gets to Benue?
Indeed.
So I didn't expect much. So when I got reports about what happened, I said, well, it just walked along my feelings. That's exactly what I had.
And what you just said really was the opinion of some Nigerians spoken to yesterday, even before the meeting was held, that nothing concrete was going to come out of it, judging from the body language of the president. That even during the burial, there was no representative from the federal government.
So when were you expecting any magic to be performed yesterday? So
okay. Let's move away from that. 7 die, 8 injured in Lagos gas explosions. Two gas explosions,
just close down,
two different places in Lagos yesterday. One, of course, in
very close by
Magudo area of Lagos, and the other one in Badagry. 7 people losing their lives.
But I think even where I live, around, down the other side of Lagos, they just established some gas plants very close to residential houses, and these are things that are highly inflammable. That even people who have fires there, you have vulcanizers, you have people who have naked wires and naked lights here and there. So safety measures must be put in place. See, I think what the state government should do now is that people can cite certain things like that. They must consider the environmental impact assessment. They also look at whether the location is fitting for such.
And then it brings to mind really why Nigeria, and these are complaints over the years, that governments do not stick to the master plan of their states and of course of the country.
These are the fallout of that, exactly. But the one in Magodo, I don't think that is fitting in that place at all.
Absolutely not. Okay, still other stories, but we're just Lagos Auto Parts dealer dies in SARS custody. SARS, here we go again.
SARS again.
NNPC begins direct fuel supply to independent marketers. JAM prosecutes 2 for UTME registration fraud. And Ekiti bars Fayemi, ex-finance commissioner, from holding public offices. Very interesting.
That's so harsh.
That's
so harsh on him. What did he do? A plan of inquiry was set up to look at the activities of this man when he was then. What did he do exactly? Did he come out with any concrete thing to say this is exactly why he's why he has to be punished? How can you ban somebody from?
According to the court, he should not hold any public office in Ekiti State.
And then, even any part of the
delegated judgment,
any part of the country. But then will that?
Any part of the country?
Yes.
So he's going to leave that place now
as a minister. So will he resign now or before start of office? And we'll see how that goes. We'll go to the Nation newspaper. Expectedly, the story of the meeting between the president and the leaders of Benue is the major story. So we'll just read it and move on. Buhari, killers of Benue, farmers will be punished. I am worried, concerned. Autumn insists no land for cattle colony in Benue State.
Let me quickly mention something about, because so that viewers will understand what the Miyetti Allah is asking for.
Yes.
They're asking for 10,000 hectares of land, which comes to about 150,000 plots of land. Now, question, I have been to Makurdi. How big is Makurdi? Okay, assuming, I mean, that's the size of a state capital, 150,000, which means, let's assume we give 5,000 of that for streets and roads. Yes. You're talking about 145,000 houses. That makes a city.
Should that even be the issue? But because the concerns of many Nigerians is that if the federal government backs it as it's mentioned, it means that it could be, enmeshed in all states across the country.
No, you can't, because, the thing is that these are, if you talk about the land use decree, there's still a measure of control of states over the land in their domains. What we're asking for 150,000 plots of land from a state. What you're going to take over everything. The farmers themselves, the crop growers, the rice growers,
will have no place to farm.
So, I mean, they should have
well,
to
according
look at it
to
properly.
Sonny Okosun of blessed memory, who owns Papa's land? Somebody needs to answer that question.
Indeed. Well, we'll go to another story. Doctor, nurse killed as Lassa fever returns. That was the development in Ebonyi State.
But you see, yesterday I was just going to a friend of mine. I said, this fire brigade approach we all have to all things. When Ebola was here, everybody, we all imbibe the issue of hand washing, sanitary. As soon as we say Ebola no more, or Lassa, everybody went back to the normal. So now that we have Lassa again, you see that there will be a flurry of people going over again to see.
The sad part of it is that we're all guilty of it. The educated, the enlightened, the not so educated, and the not so enlightened.
I think it should form part of our daily
culture,
lives.
What
honestly,
we do.
Sanitary issues and hand washing should form part of our daily
Absolutely.
lives.
And then let's go to the other story here. Governors hail soldiers for nation's unity. Of course, we have to talk about the heroes that laid down their lives for the peace of the country, and then of course for us to be able to sleep well at night. They were remembered yesterday during the armed forces.
My late uncle was a major in the army. I know exactly what it was then. When all of us, our heart was always our mouth. This time it wasn't coming for 3 months.
It was very sad.
The labor of our heroes.
The
Daily Sun reports 6 die in Lagos gas explosions. Of course, the point
there are 11?
7 there.
6.
Of course, you can expect that the numbers will continue to vary. No land for cattle colony in Benue, says Otom. Wike highlights danger of unending bloodshed. Ekiti bars Fayemi commissioner from holding public office. FG summons U.S. over Trump's. Well, I don't look forward to the day that I'll use
that word on TV.
That word on television.
See, it's vulgar. And it shouldn't even come close to anybody's lips at all. Honestly, that word. But again, when you take a look at it, if you do what is right, you don't need anybody to talk down on you. If African governments should do something that is right, we don't need to look towards the US for any assistance. What Trump is doing, Trump is talking American first. We should also find
a way of saying Nigeria first?
Nigeria
but
first.
Imagine if every country in the world decided my country first.
No, there must be a meeting
point.
There must be a meeting point. There must be a meeting point. But what I'm saying is that you don't fight for others first. To the detriment of your people. So you must find a way to, first of all, raise the lifestyle of your people. Then you can now look at the other. That's what Trump is doing.
The big question really right now is, yes, Nigerians are even saying that the U.S. president spoke the truth, that what is functioning, excuse me, in the country. So as a government now, what are you going to do about it to prove Donald Trump wrong?
How are you going to respond to it other than just, summoning the American
after summoning, then you say, why did you visit so? You say, well, yeah, said so and so on. Okay, go back home, don't say it again. Then we go back to the status quo.
Oh my! Oh, okay, you have so the Vanguard.
The Vanguard, yes. Still the Benue killings. You lied. Oshimbajo tells Governor Otom, no land for cattle colonies here. Benue elders tell Buhari, insist on arrest, prosecution of Miyetti Allah leaders as Buhari directs IGP to arrest perpetrators, begs Benue to accommodate others. Now, the catchy stories here are the statement credited to the Vice President that Governor Otom did not say that there were fears of impending attacks in the state, and then, of course, arrest the governor, calling for the arrest of Miyetti Allah leaders after the reason given for the killing of their leaders.
Language matters a lot. Some of us studied English and communication. Language matters a lot. When Oshimbajo was the acting president, and then we had this issue when the bill came up, for the processes to enact the digital law. Miyetti Allah because there were town hall meetings and other people to make their inputs into the law. If you have any opposition, come up with it. I think they sent only one. I mean, there was only one representative who went. Incidentally, also worked for government of Benue State. So we expect that there wouldn't be any opposition. So when they were made allow, so what they said was that, in fact, this is the language. They said the proposed bills at that time was obnoxious, was wicked, and was harsh. That they were going to oppose it vehemently, which was what Orton told the vice president, that this can undermine the peace of the state.
According to him, that is what he told the vice president. But the vice president now is saying, no, there was no such communication between yourself.
Akonde accepted that that's what the words. He didn't say that there were threats. So that's what I'm saying, language.
Exactly.
So what they are fighting is that he didn't tell me there were threats. But he told him that this was what they said, that the law was obnoxious, was wicked, and was harsh against.
And they were going to
respond. So how do you determine?
But it was indicated that the acting president, acted on it. That in fact, he sent some security operatives there. But that they were not exactly like we just said now, that they were really threats to.
But did he tell them the word used could undermine the peace of the state? When you say this law is harsh against us, it's wicked against us, it's obnoxious against us, we're going to oppose it.
But
what
honestly,
do you make of that?
But honestly, really, that was in June 2017.
But it's a build-up.
Would military operatives have been stationed there since then till the
now?
Okay, how come the military, you have the centers over there, people died?
Very sad indeed. All right, so we move on now. Nigeria heading towards anarchy, disintegration, that's according to Kumasi, and he's warning all Nigerians. This one is catchy. Electricity, the high cost of living in darkness. A report came out yesterday, and Nigeria is tagged as the second worst country in the world where electricity is not supplied effectively.
Yeah, remember last year, Serap came out with that report of 11 billion dollars or naira spent,
billions of dollars, and then trillions
darkness.
Of naira spent
for darkness.
Yes,
that's what we spend a lot of money to get darkness.
I just paid 10,000 naira last month.
Okay.
Because they threatened they were going to do this and so on.
Interestingly, just yesterday as well, we got news from Germany that
they were begging
customers
and
paying customers to use lights generators.
But I asked, can Germany send us part of this thing as well? So they don't need to pay us, we will pay them, but let us send them.
Deutschland, bitte, schicken uns.
Yeah, that's just a Okay, so finally, EFCC in fresh move to seize 15 accounts linked to Patience Jonathan, former wife of Nigeria's president.
Let them do the needful, and then all this back and forth and so on is becoming very monotonous and
motion with that movement kind of thing.
It's becoming monotonous. It's no longer interesting to some of us.
And we're no longer impressed?
Honestly.
Okay. All right, I guess that's where we'll have to leave it this morning on the headlines. Of course, there's a whole lot more coming your way on TVC Breakfast. You want to stay with us. Charles, thank you so much for staying with us. Yes. You're remaining with us to discuss this one.
Stay with us. We're going to short break now.